What's going on, guys? Today is leg day, and we're doing it on a cut. We're gonna see if we can still lift some heavy weights. Let's go train. Appreciate you guys being with me. All right, welcome back, guys. We're gonna be doing leg day today. We just got 15 minutes of our cardio in. Nothing too crazy, just on the treadmill at a fast-paced walk. So got everything all warmed up, and gonna be doing things a little bit different tonight. I'm gonna include the barbell hip thrusts. I haven't done those for a while just because some of the benches are a lot taller. But this one here, this is perfect because I got it right against a concrete wall, and there's a lot of cushion on this right here, and it's a little lower. The other ones in the other room there were really tall, so it's like really, it's crazy. You'd have to get have to get up there quite a bit with it. So yeah, this is a little shorter, so it's going to work really well. Already got one feel set in with this. I'm going to do 135 again. I do like to do these without my shoes. My shoes have a decent amount of height on them, so I like to take them out and take them off so I can really feel this. I feel the movement better. My feet come in contact with the floor. It feels more natural, more comfortable doing it. So I usually like to do 10 to 12 reps with this, and when it starts to get heavy, that's when I lower the reps. But yeah, I bring my own pad here just because after you start to use a little bit of weight, it starts to really push in on your stomach. So yeah, nothing too crazy. I keep my stomach in quite a bit so then I can pull my legs in. Put my hands on the circle so it's a little bit like a wide bench. I like to do that. Keep my hands. So yeah, this feels 10 times better without my shoes. So yeah, I generally don't really see a lot of people do this. It's kind of a funky exercise. I think it's kind of more of one of those trendy exercises. Fires your glutes quite a bit. So after we're done with this, we're gonna pre-exhaust the rest of the legs with leg extensions, lying leg curls. We're still gonna do our front squats and our barbell squats tonight. And I'll do my squat machine before I do those two. Okay. Same thing, pull it in nice and tight. I'm gonna pull my feet in. All right. That set actually felt better than the first one with 135. So we'll go to 315 on our next set. Okay. Whew. All right. Feeling pretty darn good so far. So we'll go to 405. Probably try to do about 8 to 12 reps. See what that feels like. Probably our last set here. So wheel this away. Okay. Okay. Whew. That's definitely our last set of those. All right, we'll move on to leg extensions next. I feel like King Arthur here. Am I worthy? Oh my goodness, I think we are. All right, moving on to leg extensions and lying leg curls. We've already done about 4 feel sets, warm-up sets. Just really slowly getting into the movement. Since I've had an issue with my left hamstring for a while, just the tie-ins behind there, when I peek my leg up, I can kind of feel them like kind of slide back and forth against each other. So it's I'm just a lot more careful. Actually, from the zone 2 jogging that I've been doing throughout the day, I do it in sessions just so it's not all at once. It's actually really helped with that quite a bit. I don't know if it's just because my legs are pumped. There's a lot more blood in there, but it seems to definitely be helping with that issue. And also my calves and the tendons, basically the thickness, like the tendon that's underneath the calf that runs to your ankle. That hurt for the first couple days of doing it, but after a few days, it was a lot easier. So I do kind of a really slow paced jog just so I can work on the endurance. So I'm not just drastically like really pushing it. So it's like when you push it really hard, especially if you're starting out with stuff like that, your body automatically switches to the quick source of energy, which is carbs. So I've been doing a lot more research. It's quite a bit different from what I normally do just because I've always been told jogging is terrible for your knees, terrible for everything. I'm not a doctor, by the way, it's a disclaimer. But there's a lot of people that say if you do like a really slow jog, I think in Japan, I forget what they call it, like a Nico or something like that. It's a type of jogging that they do. It's almost like, it's something that you'd see someone you'd almost kind of make fun of. But they do such a slow paced jog, probably like a level 4, like between a level 3.5 and a level 4 in a treadmill. That's kind of what I'm doing. So, I mean, I'm a short guy, I'm only 5'6". So my strides are, I mean, not that wide to begin with. So it's basically when I go probably about between 16 and 24 inches or so on my steps, or not my steps, but my jog is probably a little less than that, just because I don't want to land on my heel too hard. So I've been doing that more, and what they say is that when you do it slow like that and you get used to the endurance, it'll shift over and burn a lot more of your fat storage, versus if you push it really fast, your body then, your heart rate elevates and it's going to try to grasp burning fuel immediately, which obviously carbs, your glycogen levels, that's a quick source of energy. So really trying to be careful there. It's just kind of researching this, so I'm relatively new to it. Just trying to gradually warm it, get into that and get my body used to it, just so I'm not sacrificing a bunch of muscle tissue in the same time, because we are trying to remain a little bit of a deficit. So that's why I did bump my calories up, just so if we're gonna be doing more cardio like that, that's more taxing on the body, I wanna try to get better sleep, a good 8 hours a night at least, and then so slowly going to the cardio, trying to make sure I'm getting enough calories, and making sure that protein and carbs are definitely up there. And so especially, I mean, if my body's gonna try to switch to carbs, I wanna be able to have more carbs in my macros if my body's gonna turn to that. Your body can use protein as an energy source. I mean, I know keto, they have fats as an energy source. It's not the best source for your body to gravitate towards getting energy from. I mean, if you don't give it carbs, your body's gonna have no choice, right? It's gonna have to use either protein or fats. So carbs, it's just naturally a very quick source that the body's able to zap really quick for the energy that it needs, especially if you're doing like explosive cardio or HIIT cardio or anything like that, or intervals that are kind of like HIIT. Which, I mean, a lot of stuff I'm doing throughout the day, because I'm not doing an hour of my slow paced jog at once. I do it in sessions, like I said. Sometimes, like this morning, I did 5 minutes quick. And then later on, I did 10 minutes. And then later on, I did like a 20-minute session. And then I finished off the last session. And so I'm still trying to do it several hours. It was about 3 hours before I actually got here tonight. So I want to try to do it like 5 hours before I get to the gym. So tonight was about 2 hours shy of that. So hopefully it didn't zap anything too much. But we are doing something different tonight. I did the barbell hip thrust first. We were still able to use a lot of weight on that. I think the most I've ever been able to use that before for about 6 reps was 5 plates. But that was back in the day when I was doing them consistently. I've not done barbell hip thrusts in several months. Legs are still pretty strong, glutes are pretty strong, especially with a lot of the deep movements that we're doing. The glutes are still activated. So deep squats, anything like that, deep leg press, especially if you ever do like lunges. You ever seen Kai Green? I know I mentioned him before. When you see him do it, he does such a wide stance. From when I watched Kai Green do them, he had monster legs, monster glutes, and he didn't even necessarily go that heavy with doing lunges. But if you do a really wide stance lunge, you're gonna really hit your hamstrings and your glutes I mean, and your quads are going to be really into play too, especially when you're going deep, really good range of motion. So yeah, barbell hip thrust, another really great one. I know some people do what do they call it? Bulgarian split squats or something. I don't like those. I hate doing things with one leg, although I mean, lunges, you know, you're using one leg, but one leg at a time, but you're like 1 and 1, 2 and 2 versus the Bulgarian split squats. I think that's what they are. You're only doing one leg at a time. I don't like doing that. It's just a preference. We're going to be doing our heavy compound movements at the end. So even though we've done our running throughout the day, it'll be hard to gauge the numbers. Normally when I was doing front squats and normal squats before at the end of a workout, I was barely using, I don't even think I was using 185. My legs were just done. They were trashed. I'm trying to play things safe and trying to cut back on the volume a little bit, just because if I'm not careful, along with warm-up sets and working sets, for leg day, I'm probably going between 30 and 40 sets at least. And the same thing when it comes to like chest. A lot of times I show you guys in the video, I've already done 3-4 sets on like certain movements before even showing you, just because I don't want the videos to be like, 2-3 hours long. So I want to be able to show you my working set. Still playing things by ear, trying to be careful with what I'm doing. Doing a lot of volume. People might think it's junk volume, but honestly, in the long run, it's probably safer for you. It's just as long as it's not like really taxing on your joints. I mean, obviously, your joints, you don't necessarily need to use a lot of weight. If you're doing a lot of repetitions, your joints can still catch up to you. Same way as if you're using really heavy weight with good form, your joints will catch up to you too. It catches up to you in a different way. It's like a car engine, right? Or a truck. If you drive a truck with a heavy payload its whole life, the engine's gonna wear out faster, even if it's like a really good diesel engine. And now if it never carried a load in its life, it would probably last longer. Why? Because there's nothing in the payload. And so it'd be able to get a lot better gas mileage and a lot less stress on the engine. And so that's that little vacuum cleaner over there, it scares me sometimes. It'll go off. So we started with 75 and 105, 135, now we're 165 here. So this is where the working sets really come into play. Okay, 165, we'll go to 195. Okay, got 95 pounds on here now for the lying leg curls. I started with 50 and 65 and 80, and now to 95. So yeah, just to really warm up that left hamstring. Okay. So these are working sets now. Yeah. Then we'll go to 110. Okay, 225. Okay, 110. Okay, 125, our next set. That was heavy. That's definitely working. Ooh, 225. Now we'll go to 255, the whole stack. Yeah, basically starting with these and not doing squats first. I'm able to use a lot more weight on these exercises. Oh, it feels a lot better too because the muscles aren't trashed. 125. I'll probably start to slowly do these because I don't want to be blasting through them now, especially with my left hamstring. take this past failure and a really heavy weight. I think I'll just stop there. A little hesitant in taking these, especially this one, since you're really stretched apart. Past failure too much. If your muscle fibers are still, they're gradually getting torn, right? That's what happens. Your muscles, you're making like little microscopic tears. And then when you eat protein, you rebuild your muscle. Basically, it's like muscle scar tissue. Now, I don't want to do a huge tear because your body can't repair that naturally. You got to go in and have them help with surgery. So I want to be careful, especially with this exercise, because it feels like it puts my hamstring in a vulnerable state. So I don't want to come blasting out of the bottom. We'll do more leg extensions, finish off with that, and then we'll move on with the seated leg curls. And that there, it doesn't feel like I'm putting my hamstrings in a place of vulnerability at all. All right, our last set on the leg extensions. Okay. Oh, whew. That was a good set. I'm gonna be walking funny now. So my second set here, I got 180 pounds in here so far. Okay, we've also done several feel sets here. Really warming everything up. 120 on here now. 8 to 12 repetitions. Move on to 135. All right, this is gonna be our third set now. A couple warm-up sets. And I've been doing, I like to call them Jay Cutler reps. If you've ever watched any of his videos, he'd go up halfway and then peak again. So I try to be careful because sometimes it's easy to get to that half position and then kind of bounce your way out of it. So I feel it in the calves differently and I can't use as much weight. And I really like the way it feels. It's very different. It's like 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. All right, I'll put a 25 on here next. See if we can get 10 to 12. All right. Okay. All right. Ugh. 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 Yeah, man, that feels a lot heavier having to pre-exhaust everything already. Okay, we'll go to 4 wheels for our next set. Then I'll bear last one here. And then we'll do our last couple exercises with barbell front squats. Probably not gonna be using a lot of weight, but that's okay. Okay, 135. Okay. Yeah. 150 for the next set. Okay, 345s and 25. So do this either 10 to 12 reps. Oh, man. Whew. Actually, that's going to be our last set here. We'll move on to this machine here for the toe calf presses. Okay. Okay. Let's try to get 8. We'll start with 6. Okay. Oh. All right, moving on to our second calf exercise, and this is my second set here. It's funny, this exercise actually reminds me quite a bit of donkey calf raises, just the way you're kind of leaned over like this. It hits the back of the calves and stretches them in a different kind of way than what I'm used to. I used to always do donkey calf raises on a Smith machine. We'd usually lean over on a bench, and I'd put a big pad behind my waist, and then I'd unrack it like this and unhook. Obviously, you get really heavy like that, you'd have to be really careful because of where you're placing it on your back, on your vertebrae and everything, right? So yeah, I stopped doing those for a while just because of the hassle of having to set them up and just because of the vulnerability of my back. I mean, I was using 5-6 plates on that. That's a lot of weight. I mean, yeah, you might have a lot of muscle in your frame. Your skeleton can only handle so much weight. So, all right. Yeah, that deep stretch there, it's like when I sit there, I can just feel more of the fibers getting hit, getting stretched. There we go. At 165. This is a really nice machine. You set it to a perfect angle. You can just really press this and lock it in there nice and tight, like that. Okay, that'll be our last set there. We're gonna start to do our front squats and our barbell squats after that. So I think the last time I used this, I maxed it out. Okay, this is probably gonna be our last set of calves here. Okay. All right, this is our second set of front squats. You just started with the bar, just trying to get a lot of blood in there and really stretch out the knees. Make sure they're warmed up, just because, I mean, everything is just really pumped, right? And so sometimes I like to really re-stretch everything out just with an exercise, especially like hack squats, for instance. If I pump up my quads on the leg extensions, they're really pumped. And when I go in there and I go really deep, it's like I can feel there's a lot of, not pressure, but everything feels tight. So when I slowly go into it and just kind of slowly stretch the tissue a little bit more, everything feels more comfortable. So we'll try to get 10 to 12 with this, just 95 pounds, and we'll go to 135, see how that feels. We're probably not going to go to, we'll try to go to 185, but I don't know. I mean, everything is already tired, so. The body doesn't know it, though. Still feels heavy. It's just safer, though, on the joints. I don't like that when there's certain exercise that presses you and it makes you feel like you got to burp the whole time. Hard enough trying to do an exercise. Ooh, that actually felt really good. Legs still feel pretty good. Core still feels pretty good. Okay, got 175 on here now. We'll see if we can get 6. This is a decent jump. And it's still light enough. I'm not using my belt right now, so I'm still trying to gauge if we're going to do back squats after this, since my legs are starting to hit a wall. When you do that earlier on in the workout, you can kind of get away with it, but towards the end, once you start to hit that wall, unless you're doing sets with just the bar, you ain't going to be doing much. It's your body kind of telling you by throwing up the white flag that it's ready to go home or ready to start going downhill, not uphill. Okay. Nice thing about the front squats is even though my legs are tired, my core, everything is still pretty fresh. So that's the hardest thing about front squats. It's just breathing and the core. Because it squishes down in your chest the whole time. Whew. That's a good set. Oh man, that's our last set of those. All right, welcome back everyone. Just got done training our legs. These stairs feel a little different. And so didn't do our barbell back squats at the end just because everything was pretty shot. That last set with 175 for the front squats really did it in for me. So I could tell by then, I'm like, okay, it's one thing to do a couple compound movements like that when you're fresh at the beginning of the workout. But at the end, I mean, maybe some light leg extensions or something like that. But when you try to do a powerhouse movement at the end, it takes it all out of you quick. So, yeah, really good workout. The barbell hip thrusts, those are really good. Did 315 for 12 and 405. I think we did that for 8 reps, so that was cool. And let's see. We moved on to leg extensions and lying leg curls. Those were good. Still playing things by ear with the lying leg extensions with my left hamstring. Being really careful. And moved on from there to seated leg curls. Those feel really good. It's like I can do those and feel a lot more confident versus the lying. I still like the lying leg curls better, but ever since I've had that issue with the muscle fibers or tendons rubbing together, I've been a little bit more cautious. So calves, pretty decent. Didn't go too heavy with there. Only did 3 plates and a 25 for seated. And then did that little sled calf press. And kind of feels more like a donkey calf raise. So that's pretty cool. And I do love that squat machine. The hammer strength, that's really nice. I put that platform under there so I can go really deep. And I try to be really mindful of my back. Because back in the day where there was those ones where you'd unhook it, unless they start to really curl but bend your back or lean forward. That's what I mean. Turn more into a leg press. Wouldn't want to do that with that. Yeah, you might get more power. Put your lower back in a place of vulnerability. It's just not smart. So, got to 4 plates with that one for the last set. I think we did 6 or 8, I think it was 8 reps, yeah. That was really good. And then the front squats. Started with the bar, went to 95, 135, and then 175. So yeah, pretty good workout. Hard to tell if the weights really went down just because I pre-exhausted. I don't think so, with the amount of weight I was able to use in the beginning. I'm basically using the whole stack in the leg extensions and a massive amount of weight for the hip thrust. And so there's a lot of old school guys that don't like that exercise. I guess I understand why. It does look a little comical, a little funky. But, I tell you, you still feel it. You really feel it in the glutes. So, make fun of it or not, it's definitely a good butt builder. So, I feel honestly it's probably one of the best exercises for building your glutes, if that's what you're trying to target. Obviously any kind of a deep leg press or deep squat is going to build your glutes pretty well. But that exercise is just mainly just glute power. And so it is a muscle, and yes, I'd like to build it. You can laugh at me if you want, but I want to build my glutes, not just my legs. I don't want a flat butt. Especially when I've lost so much body fat, you kind of realize, I'm like, oh my goodness, where'd all my shape go? And I realize the same thing with your chest. You carry a lot of extra body fat in your chest. And then once you lose it, you're like, oh wow, I thought my chest was really big. I got to start building it up. So yeah, hard to tell. And then as you get leaner like that too, your range of motion with a lot of exercises increase, especially like your bench pressing. If you don't have a layer of fat on there, you can go further down. So, unless you're going to stop at just kind of the same set point that you were before, if you have an idea where that is, and then press off of it, you're going to probably end up using less weight. That's okay. So yeah, we're at 1,091 subscribers, I believe. I just want to say how much I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you ever want to help support the channel, in my link tree, there's a buy me a cup of coffee. If you ever want to donate anything, it's like a tip jar. It just helps build the channel. And my Amazon affiliate link is in there as well. I have my chic wrist straps in there. So even if you don't purchase that, the cool thing about that link, you go to my link tree and you press the Amazon Associates link, Associates or Affiliates, this one, press the Amazon one. When you press that, you'll see my chic lifting straps. And if you simply just sign into your Amazon from there, when you go through my link, it releases a cookie. And for 24 hours, it'll give me a small percentage of whatever you guys purchase. So if you go through my link and do your normal shopping, not even having to buy anything that I'm listing, that's another nice way to support the channel. You don't got to spend a dime on me. So that's basically, I mean, obviously we're still a small channel, but it's a nice way to grow. And so when you have several little sources of income coming in there, it all supports the channel. New equipment, gym memberships. But yeah, some people have a harder time talking about that stuff, and I'm going to talk about it more just because I think so many people, modesty is kind of camouflaged with fear. I mean, obviously, you don't want to ask people every single time to do stuff, but just to casually mention it. So do that more often, because even though I might say something about Amazon in every 5 videos, if you don't watch any of those videos and you watch the one I didn't mention it, you're never going to see it. So for all the new viewers out there, you want to support the channel, go to my link tree in the Amazon Associates link or the Buy Me a Coffee link if you want to support and donate. It's like a tip jar. It helps build the channel. So I just want to tell you guys so much how I appreciate you. If you like my video, please like and comment. And if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. Or if you're not new and you're thinking about being new. So it's really cool to see the community grow. It's still small enough to where I can still comment on most of your comments that are on there. And so I know in Snapchat, the shorts that we make for YouTube, I push over there as well. And so I got a lot of people. It's kind of Snapchat is interesting. It's a small platform, and it just, people like a lot more raw material. It's not as saturated as like TikTok. And so it's neat. I have my shorts over there. And then when people start asking me questions that kind of go beyond just basic questions, I encourage them to check out the long form videos that I make for YouTube. So kind of cool, kind of like a circle. One feeds and pushes into another. And so, pretty interesting. I like it. It's enjoyable. Ooh, it's 1 a.m., 1:03 right now. We got about 4 more minutes of our stairs. I did do a little something different. Our cardio, I was on the treadmill, and I did my zone 2 jogging, like intervals, nothing crazy. I only went to about 4.1 on the level. So yeah, really, I mean, you honestly could walk that at a fast pace with wide strides if you wanted to. So I might look a little funny. There's a couple other people in here while I was doing it. had my headphones on, so I couldn't have heard them for making fun of me anyways. But I guess if any of you, of course, any of you gamers out there, if you guys have ever played the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, was that the running man with the little rabbit ears, the little jog that he does? That's basically how I'm jogging. He still looks taller though. It's my inner nerd coming out. I love the Legend of Zelda. It's classic. Mario's great too. All right, I'm gonna finish out my cardio here, guys, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Appreciate you all. Have a good night and a good day whenever you're watching. Bye-bye.